All right, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our first Q&A for this week for Fear the Walking Dead, leading up to the mid-season finale for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. We'll start things off in this one, giving our thoughts on whether or not we think Alicia will survive. Alright, and possible spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, up to the end of Episode 7. So we have one episode left, the mid-season finale. We've done our video predictions for what we think is going to happen in that one. We've done our review of Episode 7 and giving our thoughts on that one, still standing. And this one is anybody out there. So leading up to the mid-season finale, obviously, if you guys saw Episode 7, Alicia kills a walker that is contaminated, pulls up her turret weapon, whatever you want to call it, which is kind of, I think, has sort of achieved sort of Rick, Python, Michonne, Katana, maybe not Daryl Crossbow, almost Daryl Crossbow type status. If you watch Fear the Walking Dead, if you don't watch it, then okay, fine. But it's it's getting closer to that Morgan staff type of status at this point, which is cool as her signature weapon. They all need to have their signature weapons, and so there's blood splatter everywhere. And possibly even some, ingested, I don't know. And she washes it off later on, but we're not sure if that was enough for her to become contaminated and for her to die. So I wanted to hear from you guys what your thoughts were on whether or not you think she'd survive this mid-season finale. And I can pretty much say, based on the comments I've received, that most people think she'll survive. So here's what it says. Cee Critch says, unfortunately, I think Alicia is going to die. She appeared to get the contaminated blood in her mouth. And everywhere, basically. Red Elastic 98 said, nah, Alicia ain't dying in the first half. Dwighty Boy 83 says, I don't consider myself a massive Alicia fan at all, but even I can tell that if they kill her off, they're basically asking for a cancellation at this point. So let's stop there for a bit and we'll go through the rest of your guys afterwards. I agree with Dwighty Boy. I think he's basically right. If you kill off Alicia at this point, you almost might as well kill off Fear, like it's pretty much, like if you think about the trajectory here, so if she dies in the mid-season finale or soon, and you go that route, who do you have left in the series that the fans are really going to tune in to watch? You have Morgan, you have Dwight, but they're only going to take you so far, right? Those are offshoots from the original Walking Dead series. It's something, but with Morgan, we've had a lot of time with him in the series. He's still a fan favorite character. He's one of my all-time favorite characters from The Walking Dead, but he's had a lot of time. He's had many, many seasons of The Walking Dead. In Season 4, I think it was cool and it was new to see. But going forward in the future, I don't think people are necessarily gonna, some people are gonna watch to see Morgan, but it can't be the main draw of the show, just Morgan, right? Like if you have just Morgan and you don't have Alicia, you don't have Strand, you don't have Luciana, you don't have Dwight, I don't think it's enough by itself, right, to pull a whole series for many more years, maybe another season, but that's about it. Definitely, if they kill Alicia off here, it would be worse for Fear, I think, than it was to kill off Carl in the Walking Dead original series. The Walking Dead original series had, in Season 8, they had a ton of characters, right? They had even Dwight and Morgan were still there. They had Rick and they had all the others. So killing off Carl was still a decision a lot of people hated. But at the same time, if you compare it to Fear and how many surviving characters they have from earlier seasons, they have almost nobody. So if you kill Alicia off at this point, it's like, I think it would be just horrible for the future for Fear, and it basically would be telling the audience or giving us the impression that, Fear the Walking Dead maybe has another year, maybe 2 at the max, and then it's probably done. Like I think after that it would be terrible for Fear the Walking Dead if he did this. That said, I do think it's an exciting kind of dumpster type situation, and I like the scenes and everything. I just thought the treehouse for the, the kids was totally ridiculous to me. I built a treehouse when I was younger. It wasn't that sweet. It was basically a square in between 4 trees, and we braced it a little bit with some wood pieces going this way and then on top. So it was nice. It was stable and everything. It stayed standing for about probably 5 or 10 years or something, but the treehouse they made is like this big thing, and it's like it's got like the connecting bridge over water and stuff. It's like I don't know. I don't know how they made that. So some people do. Cee Critch does think that Alicia is dead basically at this point. I'm on the other side where I think that they won't go that route. It's kind of a sort of fake out death. It's meant to kind of bring you in that direction, but then she ends up surviving. Also because she is young, so you think that, her body can probably fight back against, a lot of illnesses. I mean, biologically, I don't know if radiation, like if you get certain situations with radiation, will just kill you 100%, right? No matter how old you are. But if it's kind of in the middle or kind of just a little bit, then I would think that it could be a situation where the healthier people might be able to fight against it and survive with the cells and everything, and then unhealthy people maybe not so much. Like if some people get, for example, something like cancer or something like this, some people can survive it with treatment. Some people can't. Like it depends, right? It's kind of one of those type of situations where you're not sure. And now in this situation, obviously, if it is that way and it's in her face or something, I don't think there's any way they could possibly treat that or anything. I mean, you have June, so she's kind of a nurse, but I don't know if that really does anything. I don't think there's anything you could do if it is. So we'll see which way they go with it. But I tend to think that I'm leaning on the side that she'll survive, even though when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my God, they're going to kill Alicia. Oh no, this is terrible. Dylan Krohn said Alicia is still alive because she told Grace about the walker, and Grace made Alicia throw up somehow, and then all the blood came out. Well, if it was ingested in totally, which I watched the scene, and I'm not sure. It's hard to tell. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure if it got in there or not. It's tricky to say, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's one of those type of cases where I don't think it's easy to say one way or another, and we're not even sure if Grace is going to die for sure in this. We were led to believe that Grace will definitely die, but she seems okay right now, and she's up moving around, going with Morgan places, so who knows? I tend to think Grace will, but, I tend to think Alicia probably won't, and that's where most of us are kind of at right now. But leave a comment below if you disagree and you think, no, they're going to kill her off. This will be it for her. Michele Jensen says, I feel exactly like you do. I'm at a total loss for words. If Alicia dies, I'm done. I understand that, and it's, I know Gimple is doing Fear the Walking Dead now too, but yeah. I don't want to give many ideas, as I've said, these are some of the most important characters in the show. Please don't kill them off, Madison is one that over time I'm starting to feel like, okay, maybe it wasn't so bad they killed off Madison, in the way they did, because we have Alicia, we have some of the others. But if you do that too, it's like, oh man, that's just going to be the worst. Jack Goldberg said, so why did Alicia just stay when clearly they weren't coming through as much as she did have time, then starts banging on the beams, LOL. So he does raise a good point that the kids were basically away. Now, she didn't necessarily know that. She was probably trying to keep their attention there as something she was trying to do. But Jack is kind of right that the kids were gone, and she still was like, oh, chase after me type thing. When it's like she could have just left too, and it would have been all right. But I guess she didn't know where the kids were. We knew where they were, but maybe she didn't know is the way you could probably explain it. I don't know. T. Jilly says, Alicia dies, the first 3 seasons officially become a total waste of time. Yeah, that's basically true. I mean, Strand and Luciana, it's not enough by themselves. Luciana, I'm really shocked that she's even still alive in the series at all, right? For Strand, I'm somewhat surprised he's still alive too. I do like Strand though. He's got an interesting personality. He's not like anybody else in the series. I liked when we got to see him and Morgan he's a lot bigger than Morgan. I was surprised, right? He's a lot taller than Lady James Morgan is, but when you see the scenes through, you don't really notice it. And then all of a sudden you see them in this episode 7 close by each other, and it's like, whoa, he's tall. You know what I mean? He's pretty damn tall. So, I like Coleman Domingo. He's great. Obviously, he's been great for Fear. Really glad he got cast in it because he's directed episodes and all that too, and he's good. He's really good at doing it too. I like his episodes. I think they're great. And so he's kind of a gift to Fear, I think. I hope he stays with it. And, going forward, I hope he survives on it for at least a couple more years. If eventually they kill him off and he keeps directing, then that's probably okay too, because he'll still be involved in some way in the show, which is awesome, which is really good to see. But, I think he's a really interesting character because he's kind of that fast-talking sort of, not a con man anymore, but he's a fast-talking sales kind of guy from like a big city type of deal. People like that. There's a certain kind of archetypical personality for that kind of person. Comes from maybe New York or L.A. or something like this, and they're wheeling and dealing, they're fast-talking, they're dressing nicely and going all over the place trying to make deals, this kind of stuff. So he's a different different kind of survivor than a lot of the other ones that we have in Fear or in the original Walking Dead series. He's not very much like Daryl, let's say, or Morgan. He's totally different. He's got his totally own thing, and we haven't really met anybody like him. So I hope he survives on for a while because he is very unique. He's not like anybody else, and he's good for Fear too because, again, he's one of the only, if there's 2 left from the first season, Alicia and him. Daniel we don't know about. He might come back, he might not, but he's one of those type of things where it's like, I don't know if you even want to count Daniel because he's not always there. He's only there once in a while, maybe a couple times a year, that kind of thing. Lim J says they're really harping on the John-June separation period. It's getting really old really fast. And that's true that the John and June scenes are like, it's cool and everything for Dwight and everything. But, especially when they're on the radio and this one like, I'll come and get you. Oh, no, just go without me. That kind of thing. It's kind of like, drone, I don't know. It's okay. It's not too bad. I like John a lot, though. And June's not too bad either. But John is really fun, I think. Dead Pelican Guy says, if Alycia dies, I'm out. No kidding. Toby TV official said, if Alycia gets killed, they need to cancel the whole damn series, right? And that's probably true for how a lot of us are kind of feeling right now. Now, we might be able to get over it if they did do it anyway. But it would be a huge blow to the series. And, I don't know if we would really enjoy the episodes as much. Can we say that Alycia is kind of like the Rick of Fear? Not really, but maybe she's the Daryl of Fear. Let's put it that way. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you guys? Leave a comment about that one. Mr. No Love says, I said it last week. I'll say it again. All good things must come to an end. I seriously doubt Fear the Walking Dead gets renewed. So Alycia, Strand, and Daniel dying this season, with the surviving members appearing in the movies or going back to be on The Walking Dead, is the only ending I see that makes sense for this show. Well, they are doing the additional spin-off series. Robert Kirkman said 4 Walking Dead shows. What did he mean by that? I don't know. Would he be in the know if they were going to cancel Fear? I would think so. I think Fear will get at least one more year. I think they'll at least get a season 6. It'll go down as a crazy kind of run of a series that was kind of all over the place. But still, one of my favorite series because it's Walking Dead. And I feel like at this point they've done a pretty good job with the 5 seasons to make it at least Walking Dead worthy in the name. And we'll have to see what they do going forward and how many more years it's going to get. We have not gotten renewal yet. I hope we get official renewal soon for Fear the Walking Dead. And once we do, I'll let you guys know. And if we don't, usually I think we'd have it by around this time now. We kind of know. And we don't know yet, but I tend to think it'll at least be renewed in some way, or you cross over some of the characters into The Walking Dead. Like, I pretty much guarantee you're not going to do like a flat cancellation and never see anybody again. Morgan's too useful, Dwight's too useful, Alicia's too useful, Strand, the others, you'd have to bring them somewhere, do something with them. So, I doubt it'll be a total cancellation this year. I would think it probably would be like, okay, let's wrap it up, and we'll give you guys one more year to figure this out on how you're going to cross them over into one of the other series, or do something like that and have a big finale with some kind of bloodbath or something, like something big, right, to wrap up the whole series. So here's hoping for a 6th season of Fear the Walking Dead with Alycia. Fingers crossed. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. How many more years of Fear will it get canceled, renewed? And also whether or not you think Alycia will survive. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.